All right, let's talk email. Sending an email, that's the easy part. But sending an email that actually sparks a connection and leads to a conversion, well, that's the real challenge, isn't it? Today, we're going to dive deep into how you can create automated email journeys that really guide your customers. We'll break down the strategy, and then we'll see how awesome AI tools can make building them faster and way, way smarter. Does this sound familiar? You pour hours into crafting the perfect email, you hit that send button, and then crickets? Nothing. If you're tired of those one-and-done campaigns that just don't seem to be working, you're going to want to stick around. We're about to look at a much more strategic and, honestly, a much more effective way to engage with your audience. This slide really hits the nail on the head. Over on the left, you've got your manual campaigns. That's basically like shouting one message to a giant crowd and just hoping someone listens. But on the right, that's automated journeys. Think of these less like a broadcast and more like a personal conversation. They're strategic, they're timely, and they are super relevant because they react to what your users actually do. This is the big shift from just broadcasting to actually building relationships, and that is where the real results are. So, what are these journeys actually made of? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the core components that make them work so well. So, at its heart, an email journey is just an automated series of emails. But here's the crucial part. They're not random. They're triggered by what a user does, and they are designed from the ground up to guide that user toward a very specific goal. Whether that's getting them to finish signing up, make another purchase, or just re-engage with your brand. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with a trigger. This is the event that kicks the entire journey into gear. It could be someone signing up for your newsletter, leaving an item in their shopping cart, or filling out a form on your site. It's basically the starting pistol for the whole automation. Okay, so once that trigger fires, an action has to follow. Now, usually that action is send an email, but it could also be something happening behind the scenes, like updating a contact's info or adding them to a special list. It's the automated what happens next piece of the puzzle. Of course, you don't want to just bombard people with emails. I mean, nobody likes that, right? That's where delays are absolutely essential. These are just simple pauses in the journey, like wait for 2 days, that helps space out your communication. It just makes the whole experience feel a lot more natural and way less robotic. And this is where journeys get really smart. Conditions. It's simple if this then that logic that creates different paths for your users. Did they open the last email? Did they click on a specific link? Based on what they do, you can send them down a personalized path, making sure every single message is totally relevant to them. Okay, so now we've got our building blocks. But before you just start throwing them together, you have to remember, a great journey always starts with a great plan. So let's walk through the 5 key steps for mapping out your journey the strategic way. It all starts with defining your goal. I mean, what are you actually trying to achieve here? Then you segment your audience, so you're talking to the right people. From there, you map out the entire flow, plan the content for every email, and set the timing just right. Honestly, if you nail this plan, the actual building part becomes incredibly simple. Now, I know what you're thinking. That planning stage, it can sound like a lot of work. But this is exactly where modern tools can give you a massive shortcut. Let's see how an AI-powered platform like Mailmodo can just speed this whole process up. I mean, traditionally, sketching out a detailed journey map, writing all that copy, defining all the logic, that could take hours, or let's be real, even days of your team's precious time. But what if you could take all of that complex, strategic work and condense it down into just a few minutes? That's the power we're talking about. AI isn't just about automation anymore. It's about accelerating your entire strategy. So, how simple is it really? Well, inside Mailmodo's AI Campaign Planner, you literally just enter your website and industry, click one button, and the AI generates a complete journey plan for you. It gives you the flow, the email templates, even strategic tips. It's basically like getting your first draft done in seconds. It's amazing. And hey, if you prefer a more conversational approach, there's also the Mailmodo Copilot. With this, you just write a simple prompt describing what you need, something like an onboarding journey for new SaaS users, and poof, it builds the entire plan for you right there in the dashboard. It's kind of like having a marketing strategist on demand 24/7. Okay, so once you have that awesome AI-generated plan, it's time for the fun part, bringing it to life. This is where you move from strategy to actually doing it. And believe me, having an intuitive visual builder is a total game changer. Inside Mailmodo's Journey Builder, you just follow the plan. You pick your trigger, then you just drag and drop the blocks for your emails, delays, and all those smart conditions we talked about earlier. You can see the entire flow laid out right in front of you, test it out, and then just hit publish. It turns a really complex process into a simple visual flowchart. You know, theory is great and all, but let's see what this actually looks like in practice. Here are a few quick-fire examples of some of the most common and most effective email journeys that you can build. First up, we've got the classic onboarding journey. The goal here is super simple. Guide new users to that aha moment, the point where they really get your product's value, and get them activated as smoothly as you possibly can. And here's what a basic version of that looks like. The trigger, a user signs up. They immediately get a welcome email. Then, after 2 days, a getting started guide. And notice that condition at the end. If they're still inactive, you can send a gentle, helpful reminder. It's simple, it's logical, and it is highly effective. And of course, the possibilities here are pretty much endless. You can build welcome series for new subscribers, re-engagement flows to win back people who've gone quiet, or cart abandonment journeys to rescue those lost sales. Platforms like Mailmodo often have a whole library of pre-built templates to get you started on these right away. So let's wrap this all up. The key takeaway is this. Effective email marketing isn't about sending more emails, it's about sending smarter ones. And automation is what lets you do that at scale. The core idea here is that with the right tools and a clear plan, you are already halfway to success. A platform like Mailmodo really helps you bridge that gap, letting you move from strategy to execution incredibly fast and build journeys that truly, truly convert. So if you're ready to move beyond just sending random campaigns and start building smarter journeys that have real conversations with your customers, the best way to learn is by doing. You can explore the platform for free or book a demo over at mailmodo.com to see it all in action. Thanks so much for joining me today.